Miguel Lloyd, host of Light Full Circle Radio. What's good? What's good? Hey, all right. So as you saw in the setup, we got a lot to talk about today. No guests, so it's just us and you. So I guess a Tennessee cop. She decided she was wanted to be friends with a lot of other people on the police force. Stephen A. Smith. I have an interesting relationship in my mind with Stephen A. Smith because he's real loud, but he's a brother who's at the top of his game. But part of the reason because he's real loud and it's annoying. And I'm also a Cowboys fan, so that also kind of works in tandem with that. And so, but he jumped up stepped on the wrong toes this week because he decided he wanted to get out of the sports world and want to talk about Rihanna. Oop, getting all the smoke right about now. I told you guys a couple of weeks ago I did an interview with Derek Automotive, which is a black-owned electric car company based here in Atlanta, and you're gonna hear that piece of that interview here later on. So let's get it. It's time to go. All right. So before I bring in the super producer, next Friday, this isn't all that I do, just this show. I actually have a marketing agency, and this is kind of what we do, and we're going to talk about leveraging digital advertising to achieve your goals. So the registration link is in the description. If you're watching this and it's a replay and it happens to be after the 27th, I'm sure it'll be probably posted on my LinkedIn or somewhere. If not, just follow us, and so the next time we go live, you'll be able to get a piece of that and talk and learn a little bit about this piece. All right. What's going on?
What's up? Happy Thursday. By the way, guys, this isn't a robe. I'm dressed appropriately. This is a very weird cardigan sweater that it's not.
You hanging out with a lot of Karens. You hanging out with a lot of Karens wearing sweaters like that. That's somebody who stays in the crib and you put you business up top and right.
For those who know me, they know I love a cardigan. If I could get everybody in my family, because they're so comfortable, they go from Zoom to grocery. Who doesn't love a cardigan?
I'm not gonna lie, sis. I'm really struggling with ties right now. Anytime I have to go put on a tie to go somewhere, I'm just like I'm negotiating with myself. Like,
I could, but I'm not.
Maybe, but I don't. Here go another mock neck turtleneck sweater. I'm good.
And see, we feel like that when we have formal Indian events here in the area. We have a friend who's getting married, and then we're like, oh, we gotta get real dressed up.
For sure. All right. So anyway, so we had a great show last week. If you missed it, even though, oh my God, we got to get Denitra back on as we wanted to do the Team Plastic versus Team Natural. Team Natural, for some reason, the internet bugs decided that we don't care nothing about y'all.
It seems racist in hindsight.
I didn't know what was up, but Amy was wonderful. If you missed any part of that conversation with Amy, you can always go back and grab it because, yeah, man, I really enjoyed it, and I'm working on a couple of people because I want to get some of the fellas' responses to it. If you missed what we did last week, we had a sister on who has had multiple plastic surgeries, including a BBL and some arm stuff. And of course, me as a man, first thing I think, like, of course she got her boobs done. No, she never had her boobs done. I was like, oh. And I'm like, okay, I thought that's the first thing they went to. But anyway, let me see what we got out here.
We know she's not lying because she was honest about everything else she said.
She was. I'm just like, okay, I guess she, I don't know. I guess she good to go. Let's see who we got out here real quick. My man, Andre Sias. What's up, partner? We have not seen you in the audience in a minute. Good to see you, brother. My man from the good Mississippi. M-I, cricket letter I. All right, let's jump into the conversation of the day. We got a whole lot going on. Our intern just flooded us with everything.
And we still had to add more after she did her job. So
yeah, for real. There was something that came down today that I saw. I was glad she added, and we'll talk about it. We'll get to it. But go ahead. Let's jump in.
Okay, cool. So some people have heard about this. Apparently, there's a Tennessee cop. Not apparently, there was a Tennessee cop who had sex with multiple coworkers, and it ended up being a giant scandal in Tennessee. So I'm gonna pull up the story because the reason why normally I know these stories off the top of my head.
Right.
She had sex with so many people. I got to get these names right because it's a lot of names. So
My
Tennessee Police
understanding that,
Department.
what I heard, they have an open marriage. Her and her husband have an
Well,
open
didn't nobody
marriage.
tell Jedediah? His name is Jedediah. Didn't
His
nobody
name is,
tell
that is some
Jedediah?
old Tennessee stuff right there. His name is Jedediah.
His name is Jedediah. He's a
Oh God.
preacher.
Oh.
Did nobody tell him that there was no open marriage? But he gonna stick beside her. Apparently, they are not getting a divorce. They're gonna stay together. So here's the
She
story.
like, it's open now.
I guess a Tennessee police department fired five officers and suspended 3 others after wild allegations of sexual escapades, including a Girls Gone Wild style hot tub party. A female Laverne police officer who claimed to be in an open marriage, she was not, was accused of sordid behavior that included oral sex at headquarters and menage a trois. One of these police officers that she was in a relationship with that officer and his wife. They were together as a group.
What?
Yes, the situation is unacceptable, and as soon as it was brought to our attention, it was immediately investigated and action was taken upon the individuals involved. So one thing I want to say, so these are police officers in a very small town. So because this happened, the department is down nearly 12% of its officers following the scandal.
Yeah, she's on the screen. So 5 officers fired at Sex Scandal Royals, Tennessee Police Department. Never used that term before. So 12%, in no matter how small this town is, that could be like 3 officers, 5 officers, or whatever. 12% is down. Like, dude, just say 5. Just say 5.
Yeah.
But this is crazy. A girl's going wild. This is, man, I tell you.
And it's trending now, and a lot of people are like, oh, she's such a hoe, she's this, she's that. But when I read the article, what she did was disgusting. These guys accepting sex, also disgusting. Some of these men were married and were just like, whatever. And apparently the wife was like, sure, we can all be in a relationship. It's gross. What I noticed is that when you have undiagnosed bipolar disorder, the biggest symptom is hypersexuality. That was what this screams to me. If she's just going around having sex with everybody, didn't nobody think this seems odd? And I mean, she had been to a beach party or a lake party. I don't know what Tennessee got, but apparently she lifted up
too many
her
beaches
shirt.
in Tennessee, so it would have to be a lake party. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Apparently she lifted up her shirt at an event, and the other police officer guys were trying to get her to put her shirt down. Then the one guy was trying to exit her out because he was like, "You're embarrassing herself," and she was like, "Well, we should just do it right here."
I'm sorry not to laugh. I'm sorry to laugh, but I'm not.
Because it sounds made up. It sounds like the world's worst porn.
It just sounds like she's a freak, and she tried to come up with some other stuff to be like, okay, this is the reason. This is the reason. Maybe the reason is because I don't know. Maybe you just ain't had no business getting married, and this is what you really want to do with your life. And so now you got people's marriages all shot up and jacked up, and this. Anyway, can we move on?
And a lot of people are saying because Jedediah. And y'all, I'm not being funny. His name really is Jedediah. Like it's spelled just exactly how it sounds. Jedediah Hall.
Oh, his last name is easy. Okay, Jedediah Hall. Okay.
So Jedediah's boss is also confused. His boss actually said, I don't know how he's doing it. He's more of a man than I am, but he's trying to salvage his marriage. Once you have sex with 6 people, there's nothing to salvage. I feel like if this would have been, and again, I'm reasonable. If this would have been a one-time affair, okay, I get it. You messed up. Okay, fine. 6 people?
She a hoe. She
wasn't even on
don't
vacation.
put it on no. Now. Full disclosure: if it comes out later, she got some mental problems. But right now, here's the thing: when it comes down to black women or dudes, if dudes out here doing this, they not worrying about them being bipolar and they having those. No, everybody be like, "Oh, men ain't nothing." They talking with their hands and blah blah. But go ahead.
No, if this was any woman, because this is weird for women to do. For men, I can no. Even if a man did this, I still be like, so you had sex with 6 women at your job? You weren't even on vacation in Jamaica. You weren't in the Dominican Republic. You weren't at hedonism.
Y'all in the back of the Ford Expedition on them hard seats in the back. Man, this is crazy, man. So we'll see how this story continues to flow.
And just in case the name Jedediah didn't clear nothing up for y'all, she's Caucasian.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the Golden Globes because that seems to be a big deal right now, right? You want to go there?
Well, sure. The Golden Globes, I'm rooting for everybody black and everybody brown because it was really a multicultural. People of brown really did succeed. Remember Short Round? Remember Short Round from Indiana Jones?
No.
Remember Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, Short Round? The little Asian boy on
is Temple of Doom the first one?
Oh my God.
I remember. You realize how long ago Indiana Jones was, like 35 or 40 years ago?
I watch Indiana Jones movies every weekend.
Everybody doesn't watch that whack movie every year like you. That's something. Nobody watching that.
What I am saying is, Short Round, who was a child actor, had not really been in anything serious since he was a little boy. I'm talking under 10. Well, he just won Best Supporting Actor for Everything Everywhere All at Once with Michelle Yeoh. Yeoh, is it her name? I'll pull it up. But he won. He gave a very emotional speech thanking Steven Spielberg because that's who gave him his first job. Thanking Harrison Ford, right?
Yes.
How is he still alive?
Harrison Ford is on a new Yellowstone spinoff.
1923. He's on 1923.
So Harrison Ford, he kept himself in shape, and now he's the old man getting to work. So he gonna stay, man. Yeah. Go ahead.
In Indiana Jones 5, which comes out soon, by the way. I just want to point that out. I'm not making it up. I'm serious.
What is he going to do running from stones, rolling down the wall, trying to get treasures with his old behind Indiana Jones 5? Stop it. Are you serious?
I'm dead serious because the new woman in not like his love interest, it's another girl in the movie, is the girl from Fleabag. Remember Fleabag?
No.
You need to watch Fleabag. That's
why. What is Fleabag? What is Fleabag?
Fleabag is about a girl living in London, and she's just a crap person. She's a crap person.
Is it a movie?
It's a TV show. You know who's that? The person who loves Fleabag more than anything in the world? The Obamas. They love Fleabag. That's kind of what put Fleabag
so that's how you sold it to me. You just sold it to me because the Obamas love it.
I mean, I got to toss it to you some kind of way. Jesus. Like, what else am I going to do? Okay.
All right. So before we get off the Golden Globes, because
we're not even on it all the way yet. I got to get the award. So Eddie Murphy also won the Cecil B. DeMille award at the Golden Globes.
Eddie was wrong.
He gave a very funny speech.
Eddie was wrong for that. He was wrong.
He was not.
Eddie Murphy said he made a Will Smith joke talking about keeping your name out, my wife's name out. Y'all better leave Will alone. Will been playing in all these movies when he been training. Man, y'all better leave Will alone.
I think it's good to start joking about it because it takes the seriousness out of it. Because for a while, white people wouldn't shut up. Like, he did something so awful, and oh my God. And now that Eddie Murphy made it, and I think Eddie Murphy did it on purpose. Let's make a joke out of it so we can move on.
It's time to move on. That's for sure. I still haven't seen Was it Emancipation? I think is the movie on Apple Plus.
It's Emancipation.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
Angela Bassett won Best Supporting Actress in a Motion Picture.
For Black Panther, I'm assuming.
For Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she was good in it, but she wasn't getting no award good. But that's just my personal opinion.
You're such a hater, man. She done enough movies that, just like I never thought Denzel's best role was in Training Day, but he won it for that. So
you're right about that. Abbott Elementary also sweeped again. It's a TV show darling. Won Best Musical Comedy for a TV series. Quinta Brunson won Best Actress in a Musical Comedy TV series, and also. Oh, so old girl didn't win.
Old girl?
Shirley Ralph. I thought she won Best Supporting Actress, but it looks like she didn't.
She won something because I saw her. Or what's the other award show that just passed?
I think she was on stage. I think she might have won a Critics' Choice Award for her role in Abbott Elementary. But it was a good year. Michelle Yeoh also won, like I said, for Everything Everywhere All at Once. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a good Golden Globes.
But can we talk about Jared Carmichael, because evidently he don't.
Sure. I take a deep sigh on that.
So evidently he decided he wanted to talk about Whitney Houston, huh? That among other things that he did. Well, let's talk about your perspective on Jared Carmichael, right?
I don't have a perspective because I don't know his comedy that well. That's the thing. I don't know his comedy, but a lot of people do and say he's funny, and this was him just really dry.
So for people to know, Jared Carmichael, which of course is the person on the right, which I'm assuming everybody knows, that's Whitney Houston on the left. He had a pretty cool sitcom a couple of years back, and I thought I liked it. It was a relationship thing. The CarMichael Show. Okay, and then I think it might have been last year he came out and told everybody he was gay. And so then all of a sudden, I never thought he was like an A-list guy. Normally a Golden Globes hosting job is something you give to A-list celebrities, right?
Not anymore.
And well, so I think that part of it, and then I've seen clips of him basically saying, "I only here because I'm black," and the check's already cleared, and I'm like, bro, you're bugging. You're not like Chris Rock, who's been out for 30 years, and you done stacked enough paper that if they decide they want to blackball, you're gonna be okay. You like 35 years old. You got a long
I
life to
didn't get
live.
what the goal was. Like, I mean, I get it. You're trying to be kind of provocative and funny, but like you said, you're not an Eddie Murphy. You're not a even with Will Smith's issue. You not Will Smith. You're not any of these
Right.
black
Right.
people who can do this stuff. And right
Right.
now, hosting these awards shows as a comedian is the hardest thing to do because nobody wants the job. You tell a one bad joke, they're trying to cancel you. So maybe he was like, I'm just gonna tell all the bad jokes. Because his opening joke was, hey guys, I found 3 Golden Globes in the back. I guess Tom Cruise left them. We can give them back to Tom Cruise if he tells us where Shelley Miscavige is. For those of you guys who don't know, because most black people don't, Shelley Miscavige is involved in Scientology, and she's been missing for like 20 years. No one knows where this woman is. And her husband, who's the head of Scientology, keeps saying, oh yeah, she's fine. She doesn't want to talk to people. What? For 20 years?
Oh yeah, that's wild.
It's wild. So he said that, and of course everybody kind of groaned and was like, oh my God, can we really laugh at this? Because Hollywood and Scientology kind of go hand in hand sometimes. And then he made the Whitney Houston joke, which he actually said, we're excited to be here at the Beverly Hills Hotel, the place that killed Whitney Houston. Completely unnecessary joke.
I don't know, man. I've never really been a big award show probably because most of the time they don't really honor a lot of black folk. And of course now they've been doing that more often, but I'm just not in the habit of really caring, about what's going to happen with these shows. And now you can go watch whatever I need to watch, and I'll go check out his monologue online. But Jared CarMichael, I don't know what his plan is, but he better have one because he done pissed off some people. All right, let's move on. We see what we got about quarter after the hour. What's going? Let's go. Let's roll. I get my wife from the airport in about an hour and a half, so we rolling.
Oh no, is the flight gonna be on time? Because that whole flight outage thing, that was
last week. It was crazy.
Week, what time did you end up picking her up? Because when we got off the show, you were like,
last week I picked her up 2 a.m. The flight was supposed to land at 9:30, 10 o'clock, and the weather had it, so it was 2 a.m. Anyway, all right, let's move on. So a lot of stories.
What else? One more thing from the critics from the Golden Globes we got to talk about. Sheryl Lee Ralph. She don't give a damn about none of y'all, especially the Kardashians. She don't care what y'all think. She don't need y'all.
Amy care about the Kardashians.
The interviewers asked her, what would you tell your 15-year-old self? And she was like, I would tell my 15-year-old self, love yourself, love your body, love your face, love your hair, love your lips, because one day some people called the Kardashians, she said Kardashians like they were aliens, are going to pay $10,000 to have lips just like yours. So you keep on going. And of course, a lot of people are online like, why would you say that? And this and that. I guess they thought Sheryl Lee Ralph was going to care because she tweeted, I said what I said. I meant what I said. I'm going to bed, and that was that. That's
Sheryl Lee Ralph for OG, man. She might be holding it together, but she pushing 65. She's at least 60. So
she's at least 60. She was the original. Who was she? The original
Dream Girl. She was in the original Dream Girls.
She was, but who did she play? Dina?
Oh, now don't get me the line which character she played, but she was original Dream Girl. So she's been around in the business for over 40 years, and so her winning these awards now, it's almost like finally, she's getting her respect and she's getting her award.
She is hilarious when I look.
Yeah, on that show, and like you said, kudos to the whole concept around the Abbott Elementary, man. I love it, and I tell this story before. Janelle James, who plays the principal, I don't know who I know out of my friends who have worked with her, but we were Facebook friends before this show started. And she started, posting about this show coming up and blah, because she's a stand-up comedian. She's a writer and a stand-up comedian. And so she said, the show is coming. I said, all right, cool. Her Facebook posts are hilarious. I said, okay, cool. It came on, and now seeing her post now, she's like, okay, if you wasn't friends before, we ain't got no new friends coming in. And she's just clowning people who, it's just wild. So I'm just happy for them and the success. And having that balance of comedy and black and white and Italian and bringing all those Philadelphia cultures together, it's really very relevant.
Yeah, real stories about teachers.
Yeah,
like we broke. We
yeah, no, that's real. That's real. I got one of my very closest friends. What's up, Jay? She's been a teacher in Philadelphia for over 20 years, and so she was the first person I hit up like, "Yo, is this true?" She was like, "Absolutely." All right, so let's jump into our what segment of the week. As we know, this is our favorite segment of the week.
Let's do this.
This is the stories time. We grab stories from these internet streets to make you say, huh, what? No, that didn't really happen. And lo and behold, yes, it did. All right, so let's jump into this thing. We ain't even got it lined up in no countdown or like that. We just gonna drop them. All right, where do you want to go first? You got the list in front of you. Which story you want me to pull up first?
Antonio Brown continues to Antonio Brown his life. Antonio Brown continues
to do Antonio Brown things. Go ahead while I pull it up.
So I guess he got mad at his ex-fiance. I don't think they were ever officially married, but they do have 3 children together. And he put some extremely explicit photos out there of her and him on his Snapchat, like photo after photo after photo. She came out and basically said, yes, the photos are real. I don't know why he did this. I'm not sure. I really don't want to have anything to do with it. And her statement was very just like, what do y'all want me to do? I didn't want this to be out there, but it's out there. He now claims that his account, Snapchat, was hacked. Sir, that doesn't make any sense. For it to be hacked, that means somebody hacked your phone that's probably still in your hand right now, and then put those photos onto Snapchat. And are we really surprised with Antonio Brown? He has trashed the second part of his life. Instead of going into commentating, instead of, just being lame like Tom Brady is right now, he has decided to become a complete and total jerk butt to everybody. It's bizarre.
But he was like that as a player. First of all, people still use Snapchat. I never did, but I don't hear.
That's what my husband said. He's like, I thought somebody bought Snapchat. Snapchat's still a thing. I was like, I don't know. I don't use Snapchat. I don't TikTok. So
no, I don't do either. But I don't really hear them kids talking about the Snapchatters anymore. But anyway, so I guess the content is still out there, and now he's whatever. So Antonio Brown is a weirdo, man. He really is a weirdo, and some of these cats just celebrity. They got a long life to live trying to figure out this celebrity thing when they ain't got no money for the next 30 years of their lives. It's going to be really strange for him. All right, let's move on. This Tory Lanez situation, can we go there next? Because it's next on it's in the orange. I'm assuming this is is on the what list?
No, because you said Tory Lanez. I didn't know who you were talking about. So Tory Lanez's dad is just, first of all, he spray paints his hairline on. Like, did you see that weird Beijing or erased Beijing he had on the top?
It was somebody, I don't know who it was that was clowning him. I want to say it might have been Kev on stage, and I was just like, what in the world is this? But go ahead, yo.
He had to put a part in it.
That's what it was. Dude had a part that was drawn in with Beijing. I was like, come on, bruh. This whole thing with the Beijing, but you gonna get a part drawn in, bro? Come on, man. You got to. It was
a real Chris line, like they took a sheet of paper and it's
for real. And some of the funny stuff I see online sometimes, you playing with the Beijing. But anyway, so Tory Lanez.
Beijing, no, that's not the story.
That's not the story.
Is that Tory Lanez's father is really campaigning, saying that it was an inside job and it's Rock Nation and his son is innocent. And what got him in trouble is he said, we forgive Megan Thee Stallion for what she did. Bruh, you've lost me. Your son maybe not intentionally tried to shoot her, but he shot at her and it hit her. He out here recklessly with the gun. He out here hitting other women because of the whole situation with Kelsey. But you have forgiven Megan for causing this, even though she tried to lie for your Mighty Mouse child to keep him. I mean, it's just, why is his father going so hard? I don't understand that.
Probably because his whole life is centered around Tory Lanez, and I don't even know who this dude is. I ain't never heard none of his music. All I know is a bunch of jewelry, and I guess there's some music being sold out here. But you are going to jail, dude. You're out of here. And Megan is gonna keep it moving. She's not, her career is good right now. So fortunately, she's gonna be all right. But all right, let's move on. What else we got going on? Let's see.
No more Beijing. We're anti-Beijing over here, man. No more Beijing.
No doubt. All right. What's up with Ye?
Kanye West got married. Kanye West got married. Who cares? Doesn't
So
matter. Moving on. Next story. So this story,
we can't. No. We can't move on Kanye like that. We gotta get Kanye some love. You want to give Nick Cannon some love all the time? You know what I'm saying? Kanye sort of married. Ye reportedly held secret wedding ceremony with Yeezy designer Bianca Censori. Is that the name?
I know I'm usually the person who knows this stuff. I put this on here because it will know. Intern put this on here, and it's weird. Because is it even really 100% divorce from Kim yet?
I don't know. I don't work in the Los Angeles court system. I'm assuming. I don't know. It's Kanye. Everything he's doing right now is weird. It's just
they thought he was missing. And clearly he's not missing. And the girl I will say this, the girl he's so-called married to, is this another one of it's off the Kim assembly line. They all the women he has dated after Kim all look like her. Anybody else except for that weird girl, the Fox girl who's skinny and kind of looks like a heroin addict, Julia Fox.
I don't have no idea who that is. Who is
that
Julia
weird
Fox?
White girl he dated for a while that wore all black and all right.
Crickets. Well, except you go back to his original, he had himself a nice sister first one out the gate, his fiance first out the gate. Regular old fly girl. Looked like she probably went to Howard. Would you say she's a Delta?
She did. She went to Howard and she is a Delta.
I was joking.
Oh no. She went to Howard University. She is a Delta. They were engaged and now they're not anymore. Like
now he's in
This is the last black woman he dated?
I don't know, probably publicly. Publicly, yeah.
If there ever was like a black actress or maybe a black video girl he ever dated.
I don't think there was. Social media wasn't out then back in the mid to late 90s. So
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, let's Google it. But Kanye long gone now. This is his MO. This is what he gonna do, and he's gonna pay for this for years to come. This is the life that he's chosen, brother. All right. Let me see what else we got to what before we get into our conversation about this. We got to get into our salty part of the conversation because we got some great information coming down the pike about Derek Automotive. Go ahead.
There's one more What story on there, and I wanted to talk about this because I have mixed feelings about this. Apparently, there's a business owner who hosed down I guess the new term for it is person experiencing homelessness.
Yeah.
The person's homeless. Apparently she was black. The original story didn't say that she was black. When he got arrested, no one found out that this woman was black until after the fact. So I don't know if that was thrown in there or if the woman's actually black. According to him, he didn't feel bad about it at first.
Yeah, this is sad. This is like
no, it's not.
It's sad that he would even do this to someone. Really. You know, no. Yeah, it's just like you deserve to let's just say if folks want to show up at your door and cause you some havoc in your business and in your life, you ask for it because you don't treat people like this.
But you also, if he has called the police department and he has called the social services, and that every time somebody comes to help this person, they don't want to leave in front of your establishment. They have left drug paraphernalia in front of your establishment. They have left garbage in front of your establishment. They have left poop bags in front of your establishment. What are you supposed to do? What's the recourse?
You keep calling the police. You handle it, right? Because
so ultimately your business gets harmed, and your livelihood could get harmed and this person is just supposed. And that's another thing that makes me annoyed. And maybe this is the Republican side of my brain. Everybody always thinks that people who are homeless are like the homeless people in TV shows and movies, like they're veterans who just got home and America didn't want to take care of them, or they're just people who are just down on their luck. They're just plucky little upstarts that just didn't work out. Sometimes these people are jackasses that you just like are jerks. You know this. You not every homeless person.
I'm not. I'm okay. I get it. You basically are saying it's that he could be a very bad person, and so okay, I get it. But it looks really bad. It looks really bad for him to do that, and that 14 seconds is going to give him hell for years to come.
And you're right about that. It looks bad, but I also want to be like, yo, has he actually called y'all to come help her? And y'all have been like, man, we just can't, or she don't want to go. Like, has that been the recourse that he hasn't gotten? I feel it's a bigger story. All right.
So anyway, so that's it for all of us. This is the stories we found on these internet streets and make you say, what? If you missed any part of that, make sure you double back. All right. So check it out. So we talked about this in December. I had opportunity to meet some folks, Derek Bailey and his crew, right at Atlantic Station here in Atlanta. And it's a company that they actually have a car company, a black automotive company. We're super proud of what they're doing here in the Atlanta market. This is the car.
Oh my God.
It is a good looking car. In addition to the car, they also have that electric scooter that you see there. That's to the left. You'll see in the video that we're getting ready to play, there's actually a tow truck. But I want you guys to get a little bit of exposure. This is Derek Automotive. We did an interview with them a couple of weeks back. I want you guys to get an opportunity to check this out.
Now you have two options to charge. If you happen to be at home, certainly you're welcome to plug our car in.
Mm-hmm.
But if you need to hop in your car and take an emergency drive down to your kid at college,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 500 miles away, with my generator in that car, you don't have to stop for a charging station.
Hey, it's Miguel Lloyd, and I have the pleasure here today to sit down and talk to Mr. Derek Bailey with Derek Automotive Technologies, brother.
My
Good
pleasure,
to see
my
you,
friend.
man. Absolutely. And so, had the pleasure of coming by here and seeing this technology a few weeks back. I said, I got to come back here. We got to grab some cameras. We got some stories to tell.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. I walked in and I saw this beautiful car and I said, hold on. All right. And they said it's a black-owned electric car company called
Avani.
Harvey. Tell us about your vision and what you're doing here in this industry.
Oh, well, actually, we're trying to transform the industry. I mean, basically, electric cars are great, except for one little thing. No one likes to charge them.
Right.
So originally, we created and received a patent for a new type of generator motor.
Okay. Tell us about that motor.
But basically, it's a 53% efficient motor as compared to a traditional engine, which is about 22% efficient. Okay. So when you burn more of the fuel, then you produce less of a carbon footprint.
Got it.
So the first goal is to reduce the carbon footprint. And then we use that motor to convert fuel to electricity to recharge the batteries in the electric cars. And now you have two options to charge. If you happen to be at home, certainly you're welcome to plug our car in. But if you need to hop in your car and take an emergency drive down to your kid at college, and it's 500 miles away, with my generator in that car, you don't have to stop for a charging station.
So we're sitting here with Greg Coles, president of Retro by Exceeder. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right.
Correct,
and so Retro by Exceeder is your division of Derek Automotive Technology that does what?
Retro by Exceeder is the division that converts existing gas-powered cars into electric.
And so tell us about how this came about. You know, what we see all the time is there's always a bunch of cars. People sit in them for 10 years. They get tired of them, or they have too many things happen with the car. This breaks down, that breaks down. Next thing you know, you're back at the dealership buying it all over again. But You're saying there's some nice bodies cars out there in the market that you can take, convert them to electric, and keep those things on the road for the foreseeable future.
Oh, millions.
Yeah.
There's millions of them. Just take your insurance companies. We've got 3 million flood cars sitting around alone. What we're able to do is take these cars, rip out all of the gas components, everything that's either gas or diesel. We take all of those out, and we put in electric components, and we essentially turn this into an EV. And the advantage to that is, and a huge part of my job in converting these cars is education. And part of that education is just letting people know what advantages there are to driving an EV. And the advantages to an EV are, number one, cost of ownership and maintenance. In an EV, there's no transmission, there's no oil changes, there's no belts or hoses. You get in the car and you go. In the average car, there's 4,000 moving parts. In an EV, there's 400 moving parts.
Wow, 10%.
10%, most of which are suspension related. So it's your suspension, your turning, your handling, things like that. So as far as when it comes to a motor in an EV, it's got your commutator or your rotor and your stator. That's it. Of course, you have your gear reduction, but those are just fixed moving gears. But the big picture is when you drive an EV, because there's such little moving parts, such little maintenance, such little fuel costs, because it costs about $1 to charge an EV. If you go in DC fast charge an EV, it costs you about $7 at the most. And that depends on the convenience of a charger.
And so $7, and it may take you 400 miles, 500 miles on one charge, or $70 to fill a premium, or up to 100 if you got, and it may take you 300 miles. Hey y'all, welcome to the future. All right, so we're here with Michael Miles, managing partner of the Georgia dealerships with Derek Automotive.
Yes, sir.
And so tell us a story about how you met the team and how you got involved in this venture.
Yeah, I had the pleasure to meet Derek about a year and a half ago through a mutual friend. And after investigating this amazing technology and having a conversation with him about his vision to be the largest carbon reduction company on the planet, which is mind-blowing.
Mind-blowing, absolutely.
I had to have him at least look at Georgia. Georgia has a lot going for it with low taxation, a hotbed of technology happening in this area, and a lot of innovation is happening around the EV space with other companies coming to the area. So I felt it'd be a good fit for him to come with me, my partner, with all the relationships we have, to be able to start to build that brand that was going to be able to take that mantle forward. It's going to be tough, right?
Yeah.
A black auto manufacturer.
Hey, you know,
never been done before, right?
Hey, you know what? Somebody's got to believe we can do it, and we believe we can get it done. Yeah, it's really dope. I had an opportunity to meet those guys in the showroom, and had a chance to ride in the car. It's a smooth ride, but what you think?
When he said I can take a car and take all this garbage out of it and put an electric motor in, I was like, oh, so my husband's Audi, that's basically a paperweight in our driveway right now, we can have that converted. That would make him happy and me happy.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's in the showroom, which was in the video, there's an MG 1982, I think what they said, or 72 MG that has been converted fully electric. You saw in the video, there's a tow truck, and he kind of joked. He said, this thing is going to be loud when it pulls out. You couldn't hear it.
Wow.
As it backed out of the showroom, he backed it out. When I rode in the car itself, there's a white one they have on the road that's there, and it's smooth as silk. So I want to say they're taking deposits here soon on that first car, but they really believe that where they're going to change everything. Say again.
You want to read the stats really quick? I'm on the site to read
the
pre-order. So the Avani E4 Beyond plug-in recharging vehicle is actually in pre-orders now. They are only accepting, this is big, they are only accepting up to 12,000 pre-orders. That ain't a lot when it comes to cars and is going across the world. That's a drop in the bucket. With non-refundable deposits, can I say, do you want me to say deposit or not say that?
It don't matter. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. A non-refundable deposit of $5,000, which is not a lot of money. And deposit comes with an electric scooter. It comes with a scooter.
Yeah, it's the scooter, and you saw it in the video. The scooter is right there in the driveway. I mean, in the showroom. It's in Atlantic Station. For the folks that are in the watching show that are in the Atlanta market, or if you're visiting Atlanta, it's right across from, and I forgot the stores. Anyway, on the other side by the movie theater, and one of the women's stores is right next to it.
Is there a varsity over there? There's always a varsity over there.
No varsity. It's but anyway, you just look it up. It's not far. It's right across, and Atlantic Station is bustling right now. You got Microsoft is down there, and OTE is down there, and so many different great. But it's great, and you walk right in the showroom, you can see it. They also have one of those spots where you can do the AI and get your body scanned and all that. They got that in their showroom, man. It's a lot going on there. And I'm looking forward to working with them going forward. We're working on some opportunities where maybe to help them on the production side. So here's the thing: I just don't sit here and just talk to y'all once a week. We actually do some work around here. So
we do work. Me and Miguel are both coaches outside of being funny on the show. We coach people on how to do social media and advertising, but.
Absolutely.
That's for another time.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, we might as well go ahead and just put it back up, because I think the audio, your boom and boom. All right, so talk. I want to make sure you can you hear me?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. No, I can hear you.
I don't see the meters jumping. All right.
Okay.
So anyway, January 27, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Registration link is in the description. We're going to talk leveraging. My man, Benny Benefield, who's going to be on this show with me, on this webinar with me, not a show, webinar. We're going to be serious, and we have slides and keynotes and all that type of stuff. But it's going to be pretty good. You know, I started off in this business. This is what I did, except it was back in the day when we were doing advertising and all of that type of stuff, radio and TV and all that. And now we got in this digital space. So this is what we're doing. All right. So we got anything? Well, you know, one thing I have put in our setup, your girl, Lori Harvey, man.
Okay. We going her or Stephen A. Smith? Who going first? Cause I got heat for everybody.
All right. Let's go Lori Harvey first. Cause I already dropped it. Lori Harvey, Steve Harvey's, stepdaughter, she got herself another homie. She what? Let's run it down. Let's see. She said she never had Diddy. She said she didn't date Diddy. She dated Diddy's son.
So they just walked to ice cream together in that photo that everybody saw. That's
she
what
said
happened?
she said she didn't. She said. So then she went to. Was there anybody before Michael B. Jordan?
Hold on, I'm getting the list. It's a list.
Okay, run down the list.
Lewis Hamilton.
Is he the race car driver?
Yes.
Oh wow, I didn't know about that one.
Justin Combs, Trey Songz, Future, Michael B. Jordan, Diddy. Why did she do Future? That seems like a real step down for her, doesn't it?
I don't know. And you know what's so funny? When men live these type of lives, man, my God, they drag brothers to the mud. But of course, when a woman do it, it's empowering. You know, Lori Harvey.
It's not empowering. This isn't empowering. I'm sorry, this isn't empowering. I guess it should be empowering. I'm glad she's living the life how she wants to live it, but I wouldn't encourage other women or other girls to do this. Maybe I'm just old school and backwards, but I don't know. Okay, what are you looking for, Lori? And if you're looking for a specific thing, how about you stop getting, because what seems to be happening to me is that she goes into these situations and she seems to be very honest about, or maybe kind of on, I don't know. It just seems odd. She's in these long relationships with men who make her happy, it seems like, and then it's just like, oh, we're not together anymore, and he's not allowed to talk about it, and I don't talk about it, and it's done. Like, oh, okay.
So now her latest, Damson Idris, the British brother that plays on one of my favorite shows, Snowfall, which premieres, I think, in about, it's always so funny. They always had these conversations. This stuff always comes up right when it's time for stuff to premiere, when it's time to start talking about them for some reason. And so Idris's show is coming back for their final season. Damson Idris fuels Lori Harvey dating rumors with this shout out, "Happy birthday, Nunu." Maybe that's her nickname, I guess.
It's Nunu to him. That's what it is. It's Nunu to you.
Okay. Okay.
But they showed a very interesting picture of him laughing and joking around with Michael B. Jordan and I think another guy that he dated. And it just looks messy. Do I think she's messy? No, it just looks messy. It just looks messy. I don't think.
How you gonna think she's messy, but she's not messy? Is she messy or she not?
I really don't think she's messy. I think the picture looks messy more because of the guys. Like,
you making excuses for her.
I'm not making excuses for her. I just told you she can live her life how she wants to, but I don't think this is a good example. I don't think women should be holding her up. Just like everybody was holding up Sierra when she got Russell Wilson, like, oh, what did Sierra pray for? To get Russell Wilson. What did she pray for? I don't care what she prayed for. Everything I get annoyed. That's just me. I'm sorry.
So anyway, Lori Harvey is living her life, but next time women
NDAs though.
Huh?
She does make the guy she dates, they do have to sign NDAs. That's part of her relationship.
I'm not dating no woman. I gotta sign no daggum NDA, man. If I gotta sign NDA with you, I'm out. Anyway.
These men seem to not have an issue with it, and she has been very clear, like that's what it is. And that's most probably that makes sense when you think about no weird stories coming about her dating, about her body, no pictures coming out. Nothing's ever come out.
No, well, hey, it's her brand. She's probably following the Kardashian model of, that she has definitely followed the model that her body, because what else does she do?
I don't know. I have no idea. I know she's walked in maybe 1 or 2 runway shows, and that's it.
Yeah,
she's not a model, but she's walked in runway shows before, but that's really it.
She's an influencer. That is her job. Her job is an influencer. She living off her daddy, and then of course the whole
It's
thing
not even
about
her real dad. Does anybody else? Do people not know that Steve Harvey is not her birth father? That her
people know
real
that.
father was a drug dealer?
Well, there was two cousins, or were they brothers who were both dope dealers? That anyway, do your research on what's Steve's wife's name?
Marjorie.
Marjorie, and the relationship prior, and Lori's, whichever one is their dad. I don't really care that much. But it's just
BMF all over it. That's what it
screams BMF. All right, yeah, I give you that. All right, before we get about it, we got to talk about our man Stephen A. Smith. So I wish I'd have pulled up, because did you know? Do you remember when we had my man John Murray on the show a while back? This is when we were still doing Blog Talk Radio. You know, he's the executive producer for Sherry Shepherd's show. Did you know that? Did I tell you that?
I didn't put two and two together, but yes, I knew he was the executive producer of the show, because I remember when it came out, he was doing all the interviews.
Yeah. That's the same John, the John I went to college with. Wow. So he's doing really well. He was on. Sherry gave him a shout out on the show, and he had posted something on there, and he was in tears because she really said, he gave up his career to come help her with this. Anyway, Stephen A. Smith was on Sherry's show when he was asked about Rihanna. And so he basically came out and he said, that, Rihanna's cool, but she ain't no Beyonce. And the thickness totally in the room.
Stupid. It was. I'm surprised tomatoes didn't come flying out of the audience like tomato, because it was mean. 2, it was unnecessary, and 3, it didn't have nothing to do with her question. What she asked was, "Are you excited about Rihanna performing at the Super Bowl?" Because keep in mind, Rihanna hasn't performed anywhere in years. In years.
So here's the thing: well, for some of you who are not sports fans, Stephen A. Smith annoys us like that on a day-to-day basis. If you are not a sports fan, and for me as a Cowboys fan, and I'm not that super fanatical type of, I love my teams, but I'm not losing sleep at night. But he is so annoying. And the thing about it is that if the Cowboys lose, the game ain't even over. He on Twitter clowning. If they win, it's crickets. He don't come on his show. He pulls a disappearing act. And so I guess he felt like he could do that with the women. No.
Those women in that audience were like, boo.
Sherry Shepherd was trying to say, like, yo, you sure you want to walk that back? I think it's time to. I wish I'd have found a clip. Anyway, I don't have it right now.
The only person I've ever seen apologize quicker is Angela Bassett's son. That's the only person in the history of apologies has ever apologized quicker. He wasn't even out of the guest room, the green room of Sherry Shepherd. Before somebody called him, was like, you need to get on Beyonce and Rihanna's internet, and you need to apologize.
Right. Because when you out there on Twitter, you got a whole new tribe of people that's coming in your inbox, in your DMs, about to wear your behind. It ain't gonna be little football fans like me, or you got women who live on them internet streets that's gonna wear your behind out for the next week.
Thank you. Who know to read you for filth? Now you sitting here like, ooh, all I said was this one thing. Now you talking about my mama, my grandmama, my hairline. My hairline is way back here. Like, whose shape up starts here and then goes here? Like, it's here and then here.
Bruh, Stephen A. Smith, that brother hairline's been receding. He's been on the air for 20 years, and it's just going back little by little. But here's the thing, bro. I bet you learn real quick. Like, literally, he must have took the week off. Like, I personally, here's the thing. I love watching the debate shows, when I'm getting ready in the morning or whatever. But his voice and his tone is just so annoying. It's just like chalk, like nails on a chalkboard. It really is. I'm just like, dude, you just too loud all the time. And it's just like, dude, like 10 minutes out max. And I'm like, I can't do it. I cannot do it. And, for me to flip over and watch Shannon Sharp and the other guy, Skip Bayless, because it's just like, it's a conversation. With Stephen A. Smith, it's like a bully. It's like he's like, I'm gonna needle you and needle you and needle you because it's what keeps me on television. But he learned real quick.
What time does he come on at? Is he a morning? Is it the morning show?
He's
Sorry, you can't be screaming at people over their coffee and breakfast and on their drive time and ooh.
But he's he's the number one guy on ESPN, no doubt. But it's annoying. Like people like me, I can't do it. Those fanatical people, they love it. But he learned real quick. Okay, stay out of the pop streets. Huh?
But why was he on Sherry's show in the first place? That seems like a weird place for him to be. It couldn't be
he's
just
selling
because
the
he
book.
needed. Oh,
he's selling the book.
Okay.
So he's actually, and we watch this stuff closely. We talk about it on this show, and we work in the social media space, so we get it. He's at that point now where his popularity is waning, is getting out of sports. It's becoming bigger than sports, right? So now you're getting, he's actually. I don't watch it. Well, I don't watch it, but he's actually got a recurring role in one of the soap operas, like General Hospital or something, right? So now you're introducing, right? Right. So now you're introducing yourself to a whole different market, right? So that's where you can go. You gotta look that up, right? So now he's introducing himself to a different market that they're not going to tolerate you yelling and screaming and hollering with your New York accent. No, they're not. And now you're selling a book. That's why you go on to Sherry Shepherd. And then all of a sudden you're gonna disrespect Rihanna. Wrong move, Playboy. Wrong move. But press is press. You found it yet?
I guess he's playing Brick on General Hospital.
Who knows?
What is happening?
Right. And so it's funny because there was some stories out there that it was like some Karens were like, he talks about sports. Oh yeah, that's the only reason why he's even in your world, because of his success.
Oh, wait a minute. He's always been on General Hospital. Did you know that?
Ain't
that
no always. What's always?
2007.
He's been on General Hospital for 15 years.
Yes. Stephen previously played a reporter during the Metro Court hostage crisis on an episode in 2007. On September 1st, 2020, Soaps.com revealed that Smith is heading back to General Hospital as Brick. What kind of name is Brick? What white boy in the office like, you're black, we'll name you Brick. That's not a black name.
Dude, it's a cool name, man. You're going to be Brick. We're going to call you Brick. That's going to be your name. All right, so let's see. We got a little bit of time. Before we go, we wanted to talk. You still don't stuck on that.
Cast member on General Hospital.
He's a recurring cast member on General Hospital. Yes, he is. All right, so let's move on. Dr. Dre, which one of the politicians decided they wanted to use Dr. Dre's music?
Green. I'm not even joking. It was her.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene decided that I'm pulling it up. Marjorie Taylor Greene decided that she wanted to use Dr. Dre's music, and he said, "Nah, chick, keep my name and my music out your mouth." BioFleets, Dr. Dre slams hateful far-right politician over unauthorized song use. And the situation unfolded on Monday after Marjorie uploaded a since-disabled video that showed her confidentially walking around the U.S. Capitol and relishing in Representative Kevin McCarthy's elected as a new speaker in the House. Notably, the video had "Still DRE" by Dr. Dre playing in the background. Shortly after Marjorie's upload, Dr. Dre let it be known he was not pleased with the unauthorized use of his song and went on the controversial politician. While I appreciate the creative chord progression, I would never play your words of violence against women and public police officers and blah, 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 blah. So you want to just use Dr. Dre's production, but you got to make sure you talk about how hateful his music was. Give me a
wait a minute.
break.
Did she really say that? So I'm going to use your song, but I'm also against your songs? So,
while I appreciate the creative chord progression, I would never play your words of violence against women and police officers in your glorification of the thug life and drugs.
And that's why her Twitter account was shut down. Because Dr. Dre was like, oh, we're still here? Cool. I'm going to call Elon because Elon likes me more than he likes you. And now you don't have her Twitter account was shut down because of this. And her lawyers had to promise his lawyers, we will never do it again. Because he was going to sue her to Kingdom Come. Like she was going to be.
She rich, but she ain't Dr. Dre rich. She ain't Dr. Dre rich.
No.
She average folk rich. And because
No.
Dr. Dre, one story that's not here is that I think the word is he's selling his catalog for $200 million, which is the latest big artist to sell their catalog. So, all right.
She's just the worst. They're all the worst. Oh, and the other thing that is not on our list, but the congressman from New York, George Santos, who apparently has been lying about everything.
Yeah.
And he's anti-LGBTQIA, but also used to be a drag queen. How does that work out? How do you he used to be a drag queen. Like, pictures came out. His drag name was
Stop it, man.
Atakara or something weird. It was something real Brazilian.
I thought you were just gonna say, but he's gay, because you looked at him. He obviously seems like he's gay.
Everybody says that, and I thought, well, he could be. The drag queen thing, the gay thing, it all makes sense.
I'm sorry.
Maybe
it's my ignorance. If there are drag queens that are not homosexuals, or at least bisexual.
There are.
Okay.
I mean, well, if you really want me to go here, Dustin Hoffman wasn't gay when he played Tootsie.
That's the difference. He was playing a role. I'm talking about people who he was playing a role. So you're playing a role
also when you're a drag queen for some people. It's an acting role. Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay, but they're playing a role, and that's a whole different conversation when we talk about comedians who all of a sudden make it once they play a woman in a movie. But I think Dave Chappelle the one that said, I ain't doing that. Nope.
Everybody but Brandon T. Jackson everybody else has made it once they dress as a woman. He's the only one who didn't make it. Remember Brandon T. Jackson from Tropic Thunder?
No. Alton Drew, Katara. I don't know what that means.
Thank you. Alton in the clutch every time. Yes, Katara was the drag name for George Santos.
Of course, that's what Alton knows, because of course it's a political adjacent story. Politics adjacent story. Lord have mercy. All right. Let me see. Anything else on your mind before we get up out of here? Because I got to get to the airport.
Let's back the list.
Blackballed at the mall. Successful black business owners alleged being forced out of malls because of discrimination. Don't know what that is. John Legend and Chrissy Teigen.
I know what it is, but that's got to be a bigger conversation. We will talk about it. It's basically saying that a lot of black store owners, even if they have the most popular store in the mall that's drama free, they are actually having their leases canceled without any word. The mall people come and say, your lease has been canceled. You have this amount of days to get out of the spot. And it's really bad. Congratulations to John Legend and Chrissy Teigen. They had a baby girl.
Congratulations. They're moving along, They're moving along. All right, man. Great show. We are working on, we want to do a little bit of a response show to what we had last week with the BBLs. We want to get some in. And so I got a couple folks we're working on because we got to get into some dialogue about this. I think I did a good job last week trying to let y'all do y'all thing.
You did a great job.
Just let y'all talk about it. Things rolling through my head.
Your questions were good too.
All right. Well, kudos. Great show though. The great show and show.
Changed your mind about plastic surgery in a way that we won't discuss because we're not allowed to, but you know what I'm talking about. So yeah.
Anyway. No, I'm not. I'm anyway. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all. I gotta get to the airport, get my lovely wife. And great show as always. Y'all stay tuned. If y'all miss any part of the show, make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you follow us. All that good stuff, and spread the word. We continue to build this show, continue to build our audience. And so if anybody you're interested in sponsoring any segment of the show, make sure y'all inbox us. Or just hit me info@lloydmediagroup.net. Or what's your email address? What's your email address?
Kia@lifefulcircleradio.com.
You suck. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. Have a good week. Rest of your week. God bless.
Bye, guys.